So, Rodney, I want to go a little big picture with this. We know how tough Davante Adams is, but Green Bay played Jacksonville. Why do you have them in your top 5 at this point?
Well, and you asked me why I have them, because they haven't been great on defense, and they were missing their 2 starting corners yesterday. And Zadarius Smith, the last couple games, he's had a couple sacks, a forced fumble. Preston Smith hasn't put up a lot of great stats, but he forced some pressure last week, forced an interception, had a sack. So I look at their defense, and even Adrian Amos, he had an interception. But I look at their defense, and it really has been an inconsistent part of their team, stopping the run and just, continue to make big plays. But to play without your 2 starting cornerbacks and still be able to pull that game off. And you think about Jacksonville, you got to give them a lot of credit. They played hard, they played tough, they made some plays. And they weren't afraid. They weren't afraid of Aaron Rodgers. They picked him off, and they were talking some trash. So, here in the next 3 or 4 years, watch out for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they're, at least right now, they are at least competitive.
And what was a little bit weird about watching this game for the Packers offensively, it seemed like Aaron Jones got a demotion. In the first half, he just wasn't getting any touches. Really throughout the game, only 13 is what he finished with. They weren't getting him involved in the passing game like we're used to seeing. So it was a lot of Davante Adams. There was a lot of Marquez Valdez-Scantling. But Aaron Jones wasn't that third piece, that third weapon that Aaron Rodgers likes to use so much. And since they weren't using him like that, it just seemed like the offense was off to a slow start. They mixed him in more and more in the second, but it was the power running game they were trying to get going in the first, which is a debate that we've had on this show. It wasn't working. They spread it out in the second half, and they ultimately go win the game by 4.
What's the kid's name? I forget his name. Irvin, number 32, right? What's this? I forget his name. I'm sorry. But they're incorporating him more, because what they're trying to do is they know how special Aaron Jones is, and basically what he is, and no disrespect behind this, but he's like a poor man's Aaron Jones. So if you can give him more reps, Aaron Jones just came off this injury where he missed a bunch of time, and you don't want to reinstall him in the offense and give him 20, 25 plays and overuse him and get him back hurt. So what they're doing is they're saying, you know what? We're doing well. We're playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't care if we're playing against the San Francisco 49ers. We'll give him 10 to 15 touches. We'll get his conditioning back. We'll make sure that he's healthy and that he's safe, so we can have him toward the latter part of the season, which I think is smart. But you're also getting some other young guys that experience. And, if Aaron Jones get hurt, then they have more depth. They can do other things with other people. And I think that's important.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Tyler Irvin. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. No, you got it right. So Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you're always wondering, is he really a good enough number 2 wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers? And we've debated that out on this show. They chose not to draft, use a high draft pick to go get another wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers. Instead, they go backup quarterback of the future, power running back, rounds 1 and 2 of the draft. And you do see a little bit of them trying to transition this running attack to that. Always seems more successful when it's Jones. Do you think Marquez Valdez-Scantling is a talented enough number 2, assuming that they figure out a way, which sounds like Davante Adams is banged up, assuming they do have Adams for the course of this year? Is him and Valdez-Scantling enough? Because there's not really a tight end you think about. There's not really a third wide receiver that scares you. It just seems like it's an offense. We talked about the Bucs. We talked about the Steelers. We talked about Kansas City. They're not even close to the amount of playmakers that those top teams have.
Well, I look at the Packers and Robert Tonyan, who's a tight end, who's caught a lot of touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers, a guy that Aaron Rodgers really trusts and believes in. So I would say yes, because, as a number 2 receiver for the Green Bay Packers, you don't have to be great. I think MVS, I think he's fast. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And every time I look up, he's behind the safety. He's behind the corner. So, he's stretching the field. Robert Tonyan, you get all these other guys, Tyler Irvin, you get Aaron Jones. Occupying the middle of the field. And why do you think Davante Adams is so wide open all the time? And I don't understand this, because I called out my old defensive coordinator, Romeo Crennel, for not double-teaming him with the Houston Texans, and then I come back and watch the San Francisco 49ers not double cover him. He's an elite receiver. You have to double cover him, and they do such a great job of quick passes to him because he's a bigger receiver. 6'2", 6'3", he can run people over, and look how big and thick he is as a wide receiver, and he has a running back's mentality. So they try to get him the ball as much as possible, and anytime Aaron Rodgers comes up to the line of scrimmage and he's sees two safeties back, it's a handoff. When you see that safety creeps down, he's throwing the ball. And that's what he's doing. And that's what you trust about Aaron Rodgers. He's so smart. He can get you in a perfect play. He can get you in the right play, in the right position. And that's why they've been so successful this year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.